I did it! I did it! I did it! You cannot. Ugh. There's a thing that I can glitch out the TurtleWow client every single time, and the way I do it is once the TurtleWow client, once I log in and, and click enter and it starts loading into the game, if I click my other off into my other monitor screen, then click back into the TurtleWow client while it's still on the loading, it will crash it 100% every single time. It's actually guaranteed. And that's what I did there. Like right now, if I click on my other monitor and then come back and click on this monitor, it'll just crash. It just completely crashes the client.
What brings you here? To be in the presence of the oracle tree. It is almost to feel wisdom take form. Let me continue the telling. With Teldrassil grown, the archdruid approached the dragons for their blessings, as the dragons had placed upon Nordrassil in ancient times. But Nosdormu, Lord of Time, refused to give his blessing, chiding the druid for his arrogance. In agreement with Nosdormu, Alexstrasza also refused Staghelm, and without her blessing, Teldrassil's growth has been flawed and unpredictable. Without the blessings of Alexstrasza the Lifebinder and Nosdormu the Timeless, Teldrassil's growth has not been without flaw. Strange beasts have been reported arising from the very ground of the tree, and crazed furbolgs attack passing travelers. I can only hope that the solution the Archdruid is looking for will be found quickly. I will pour all the files you brought into this vessel for you to deliver to Darnassus. Bring it to Fandral Staghelm. You will find him in the Druid Grove.
Hey Samuel, what's up? I can't do it. What? Project Epic. It sounds familiar. I don't know. I might maybe if it looks good. I'm always up for playing something different. If it's good, let me take a look at the video. I get a little bit of a headache today, and that's why I was kind of stopped my stream earlier because I had this vicious headache. Just took a bunch of Advil. Hopefully it'll go away. All right, Project Epic. Yeah, I never heard of it. I don't think. Let's join the community. I'm sure it's a Discord server. We've got 2 developers, 1 founder, and a few contributors. We got quite a few people. Everybody and their mother's putting up Villain Plus servers these days. Well, they haven't really shown anything to... Okay, well that's different. Looked at that. Some of that looks a little... All this is just pre-existing stuff, most of it. There's really nothing in that video that's that interesting. Along the journey of Level 6, you'll find hundreds of new quests throughout every zone. Sands of time, through a painstaking process. Through painstaking process, thousands of creatures throughout the world have been restored to a classic state, from level, aggro ranges, names, language, much more. This extra level of detail is key to providing a classic feel. So they're using a modern client. That's interesting. What client are they using then? Only Journey 60, right from this offset. Oops. Whoops. Sands of time are fickling, and the slightest nudge in the wrong direction can cascade back. Locals, you want you have been restored to state you've not seen since Vanilla was first released. If ever, that does look a little different, those banners. Level 60, you have 61 talents at your disposal. Okay, this is weird. 61 talents. Normally you only have 50, so they're going to give you 11 more talents. Despite being based on a 3.35 client, we have restored base abilities, trainers, and talent trees to a Burning Crusade state with minor tweaks. Well, I've always said, one thing I've always said about World of Warcraft is that I felt like 50 talents. You know what I mean? The one thing I always said about World of Warcraft Classic, vanilla World of Warcraft was that it would be really cool if you got like another 6 talent points, because when you look at the talent calculator, there's always like, like if you want to build like kind of like hybrid specs or kind of a little bit, just more unusual builds, the talent system as it is a little bit restrictive, and that to get to the bottom of one talent tree really limits you from getting some of the cooler abilities and some of the other talent trees. So I've always said that it would be nice to have a talent system where you get more than 50 talent points. I was always thinking maybe like 6 more, like 56 or maybe 58, but yeah, here it looks like they're going to give you 61. So that actually intrigues me. I think that's kind of cool because it gives you a lot more freedom to build more interesting builds. Now this says it's a 3.35 client, which I do like the 3.35 client a lot actually. But they're going to say that the talents, base abilities, and talent trees to the Burning Crusade state. Yeah, it says it's going to be TBC talents. I know, that's what I'm looking at. So just for fun, right? Odd. Let's just for fun, right? Let's say that we wanted to create, say, a hunter. But it's got to be, actually, yeah, TBC. And we have 61 talent points. Oh, so you do, but it says that you have it at 60, though. Yeah, but what it says here, it says that you're going to have, at level 60, you will have 61 talents. All right, so think about being level 60. So there you go. You could have that build. Of course, I don't have counterattack. Or I don't know. You have to play around with it. So yeah, it's interesting. That'd be interesting. Says, hmm. Okay, so it says client will have restored base abilities for Burning Crusade, with minor tweaks ensuring no matter class or specialization preference, you can take part in cutting edge content while drastically reducing the overpowered nature of Wrath of the Lich King specializations. Well, I don't really understand that. So why is it saying Wrath of the Lich King specialization when your talent tree is a Burning Crusade? You have a Soul of Iron. Locate a Chronicler and any faction capital and enroll yourself in the Project Epic Hardcore mode based on Blizzard's season of mastery implementation to the smallest details with additional rewards. So they are going to have a hardcore mode. For those who hunger, okay, dungeons. I mean, raids, player versus player, itemization, classic, wrath. So classic had the Death Speaker robes was this stats. Wrath had this. So they're going down back to the classic itemizations, which means they're just not as powerful. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks okay. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look amazing or anything. There's zero content from Wrath. It doesn't look like amazing. I mean, the most interesting thing is having more talent points gives you a lot more flexibility to do stuff. Is there any weapon progression guide for Melee Hunter? Weapon progression? No, there's no weapon progression guide for Melee Hunter. I mean, no. And I don't know why you would even want one, to be honest. I don't know why you want. I'm not the kind of person who likes to follow like a guide to that kind of detail. But you got to remember the maxima that Melee Hunter that dual wield weapons can actually be better than two-hand weapons in certain cases. It just depends on what the stats are and what the proc abilities are. So I don't know if I would say copy the warrior one. I don't think so. Plus, you got to remember also that the Melee Hunter is going to benefit from agility or strength. Yeah, I mean, if you copy the warrior one, you're not going to be. It's not going to be a bad thing to copy. So there's so much more than just TB sounds. Okay, no, I'm not. I don't know. I didn't read through all of it, Samuel, but I'm just saying, looking at it, just like a quick look, I didn't see anything super amazing. You know? Yeah. I mean, I mean, there isn't one that I know of for Melee Hunter, and I honestly haven't even. I didn't get the chance at level 60 to do any kind of 60 content to actually get like some really good weapons to test. Mostly because the Hardcore Elite Guild wouldn't let me join because I was a Melee Hunter. So, that's why I'm not playing there anymore. I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to be the Hardcore Elite Guild, then I'm not really. You can't really level it. You can't play at 60 as a hardcore player if you're not in the Hardcore Elite Guild. It's kind of pointless. So, anyways, professions, new racials, dungeons, and raid reworks, arenas, new raids. I don't really have a whole lot of. Hey, Samuel, I don't really have a super big interest in raid reworks because I don't really raid that much. So raid reworks doesn't really interest me that much. OP professions, yeah. I mean, if they add new craftable items from professions that are interesting, that would be interesting. New racials, again, if they're good, that would be interesting. New dungeons, I do like new dungeons because I enjoy dungeons. What's up? What's up, Change? I'm sorry. I've got a really bad headache, guys, so I'm kind of struggling through this right now. Hold on a second. But arenas, I mean, I don't understand what's big about arenas because arenas were always in Burning Crusade and Wrath of Lich King. And if they're using a Wrath of Lich King client, I would assume that arenas would be there. So that doesn't seem like a benefit. It just seems like it's what should be there. And then you said new raids. New raids would be cool because it's new. So reworked raids, I don't have a whole lot of interest in. But new raids, if they're good, I guess would be fun. And battlegrounds, again, battlegrounds would be fun. The problem is battlegrounds have never really. Yeah, battlegrounds have never really. I'm not roasting anybody. Oh, you talking about? I'm not sure what you're. What are you talking about, Maxim? Don't ask questions. You're gonna get roasted. Arenas and Wrath of the Lich King. Oh, you okay? You mean the okay? I got you. I got you. Yeah, the Wrath of the Lich King had some good arenas. The problem is that what's up, Joshua? The problem is that on private servers, usually you don't get. I mean, outside of maybe like Warmane, most private servers don't get enough people to really have a thriving, battleground or arena community. You look at servers like Warmane has done well with that, and Whitemane, from what I hear, has decent arena, but the battlegrounds are like not super great. So yeah, it's tough. To have a really thriving battlegrounds and arena and world PvP, you need a thriving, player base. And world PvP, world PvP doesn't really. World PvP doesn't really exist that much on servers that aren't like kind of the original vanilla because, with like the original vanilla grinding ranks, because people don't really world PvP a ton. If there's battlegrounds and arena, they do battlegrounds and arena. You know what I mean? The only world PvP you're gonna get is just the world PvP that exists during leveling. Yeah, the reason world PvP was better in like the original vanilla is because that's what the ranks were attained through. It was honor. It was honor ranks, the honor grind. That's why when Classic first launched, the world PvP was pretty big deal. So yeah, I don't think you're going to see a lot of world PvP on a server that has battlegrounds and arena. I just don't think you'll see it. There'll be world PvP, but it won't be a huge thing, you know. Yeah, I saw. Hey, Sam, I saw that. I saw that where you asked her that, and she said that I guess in private or then in classic WoW that it doesn't work as well as it did in like on a private server. So yeah, I saw that. I saw that, man. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny. You know that Calamity got removed. You know she got removed from being a moderator for HardCore. Did you see that she got removed? Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was like a moderator on HardCore, and she got in trouble because because she was one of the people. Apparently, it was her or some people along with her that decided to do that BWL full clear. Remember when they did the BWL full clear? It was kind of a last minute decision to do that. They didn't bother telling Cargos or some of the other people like Cargos that they were going to do that. And so yeah, there was some fallout from that. They basically said, you can't be going off doing stuff like that without getting approval, and kind of, sort of. That was part of it, I guess. And yeah, she was removed. I would like to think it was that I messaged Cargos and told him that she was a bitch. Which I did, by the way. I didn't say she was a bitch per se. I just said she treated me I said she acted like a bitch and how she responded to me joining the HardCore. I said she was I didn't say she was I said that I tried to get HardCore Guild, I was denied, and that her behavior, I said she was kind of like a bitch. Yeah, I didn't say she's a bitch. I said she kind of acted bitchy. You know what I mean? That's what I said. But yeah, I don't think what I said had anything to do with her being removed. But yeah, she was removed. So whatever. Keep seeing herbs on here, but I'm not seeing them on the screen. Where are they? Here they. Yeah. Yeah, and there were people like in the classic hardcore, that were like saying things about me that just simply weren't true, and I kind of went off on them a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if you go to the, you know, like this person saying ultimately the GM of the guild Oh, it looks like they mod. Oh, it was this one. He said the first thing he did was ask if he could have a raid spot, and said, I'll stay melee to annoy the hardcore folks." To that, I responded, "That's actually a lie." And then he responded, "There are screenshots, but you can grab them." And I said I joked about annoying the hardcore folks, which I did, because I knew I would. I knew if I stayed melee, it would annoy them, right? But I said I never asked specifically for a raid spot, which I didn't. I never did. And when I was told I couldn't have a raid spot, I said that's fair. I said that's fair, which I did. And I said I can't pull the screenshots because they removed me from the server. But they did remove me from the server. But I took the original invite that someone sent me, clicked on it, and it let me join back in. So they removed me from the server, but they didn't ban me from the server. So I went back in the next day, and I went back into the conversation, and I found it. And when asked, "Are you a normal hunter now?" I said, "Nope, was going to stay melee just to annoy all the hardcore elite folks to see the amount of prejudice I would receive." And I put it with a smiley face. I'm joking here. I mean, it's kind of a joke. But I knew it would annoy them, and I knew I would get prejudiced. And then, I don't, do I not have the rest of it? Anyways, and then of course I get, we did a great meme. "No memes allowed. Melee hunter is level 2 cringe." I said pretty much what I expect. And then someone said, I divide, but don't expect a raid spot, obviously, and whatever. But I mean, that was it. I mean, I never said what he said. I never came in and said, "Hey, give me a raid spot." You know what I mean? So I never said that, That was a complete lie. And then, and then to that he said, "Love your photos, definitely stick to that." And I said, "Love your ignorance, you can stick with that. Peace out, motherfucker." That's what I said. "Peace out, motherfucker." And then he responds, this other guy responds, "Still in the server. Now try something else. Go warrior. It's a pure melee hunter dream. Always get raid spots." To which I responded, "Yes, I rejoined yesterday from the original invite link to see if I could. I also snapped a screen of my comments, and they are exactly as I said they were, because they were. I've already leveled a hardcore warrior to 60. Go to the classic hardcore website, search for caffeine injected, and you'll see my hardcore warrior." And then I said, "I'm already playing somewhere else, enjoying the game, which is what it's all about, having fun. Cheers." It's like, I play well to have fun, not deal with douchebags. It's that simple. So, I don't know if you want to level as a melee hunter, man. I don't know. Melee hunter is it's not hard, but it does make it more. For some people, they might find it boring because you don't have as many abilities, So what we're doing here is this character is a, ranged hunter, but this character I am going to be doing a lot more melee with this character than you normally would see a regular person do with a hunter. So it's not going to be pure melee. We're going to have the ability to use ranged weapons, but I am once I get like aspect of the wolf, we are going to push the melee envelope and see how much damage this particular character can do with melee. You know what I mean? I've already done that. I've already played retail Shadowlands Survival Hunter, and it's actually absolutely fantastic, actually. I've done Survival Hunter in retail a couple times. The first one I did was BFA, and it was the first time Survival Hunter that I played Survival Hunter and found out it to be really fun was in Battle for Azeroth. And you can see here, this video is World of Warcraft Worgen Survival Hunter from 3 years ago, okay? And it's super fun, and I actually really loved it, especially as a Worgen. I love Worgens, by the way. So check out this Battle for Azeroth survival melee hunter, pretty much. And I love the animations. In Battle for Azeroth, you get some really nice animations. So let's see if we can get some. It looks like I was just in there doing some mining. Looks like I went in there to do some mining. Here I am in what, Shadowfang Keep. But yeah, Survival Hunter, I've done
Oh
it.
shit.
I've done it in Battle for Azeroth, and that's when I first found out it was really fun and actually really I think effective. And then I did Survival Hunter in Shadowlands, and also in Shadowlands it was amazing, as you guys probably already know if you've ever played Shadowlands. So yeah, it's really fun. The only problem with it again is because it's retail. I don't like retail because of all the gold farming, the GDKP, and all the RMT and real money transactions and all that stuff. If we could get a version of Melee Hunter like it is in Shadowlands in like in like a server, like a private server with hardcore mode, it would be amazing. Like it would be amazing. I like hardcore mode because it prevents all of that bullshit. You don't have people doing real money transactions, and you don't have all, man. Look at all the people on this server. Can't even kill the mobs because they're all dead. But you don't have to deal. Once you're doing hardcore, it completely gets rid of that bullshit because you can't use the mailbox, can't use the auction house, so it's not like you can't trade with other players, so you can't. It's not like you can buy gold off a gold seller and give it to somebody. You can't because you can't trade with them. So it's great, you know. Ursel the Mauler. Oh, he just took my mob. You bastard! You took my mob. Good. He didn't take my mob, but hey, what's up, Justin? How's it going? You not take berry. You don't take berry. You not take berry. Yeah, no trades. Yeah. Holy shit, Ursula the Mauler again! Crap, these mobs are spawning so fast. It's because there's so many people on this server. You know? Oh, leave me alone! You no take berry! You no take berry! Crap. Hey, this is a one life character, yeah. Yeah, this is a one life character, so we got to be a little careful here. These mobs are spawning really, really quickly. Now, again, I'm calling this, like I said, I'm calling this a hybrid hunter because I plan on doing a lot of melee on this character, but I didn't want to get myself by not doing ranged at all. For a lot of reasons. One, it's slow and steady, so the leveling is going to be really, really slow. So, trying to level as a melee hunter with slow and steady would be pretty brutal. Well, this guy is just fucking pulling everybody. You see that? Is he like a mage? Look at this guy come in here. Level 17 mage. Just blowing people up. Of course, she's 17. That's pretty high for this area. You not take berry. You not take my berries. We're going in, baby. Melee time. See, the nice thing with this hunter is we can melee if we want to, we can range if we want to. We've got all the options. But we're gonna push the melee side. So we're gonna try to use abilities as much as we can. The abilities that Turtle gives us to try to push melee as far as we can push melee and see how much damage can we do as a melee hunter, etc. I don't like how they implemented melee hunter on Turtle so maybe we can give them some feedback and maybe they'll make some changes. I don't know, but they definitely need to make changes to melee. They need to add some new abilities that are specific to melee. One of the things I really liked about retail World of Warcraft with the survival hunter was I really enjoyed the melee attack, the main melee attack that survival hunters have. I can't remember what it's called, but they swing their big two-hand weapon. And it's just one of the cool things about retail WoW is the animations. The combat animations in retail WoW are really nice. I need Avengers. We need the Avengers. You have a Nelf. Oh, you love Nelf Shadow Meld, yeah. Yep. Oh, these are respawning so quickly. But I need the Avengers. This is a custom for a WoW quest, this one. Gives a ring, I believe. We're just gonna keep killing. Killing for XP, why not? Why not? Hey, Noah, what's up? We're going in melee. Melee time. Melee time! Oh yeah, I had him, yeah. Over by yeah, the Spirit Beast. Over by the Dwarven the North in the snowy region. What's it called? Man, it's been so long since I've tamed that guy. Yeah, he's a cool wolf. Yeah, I've tamed him before. My retail character. But that's like retail WoW, man. That's like, oh, is there really? Really? Valst, you gotta tell me about this. You must tell me about this wolf. I must have him. I must have him. That sounds like something I would want. You said it was a wolf or a fox? Blue fox? Yeah, yeah, they have the foxes. That's right. I've tamed the foxes. They're basically, the foxes are basically wolves. Like their traits and stuff are the same as like that of a wolf. It just has a fox skin basically on top of it. I wish I had traps, but I don't have any traps. Ooh, yes. Yeah, I know that's cool. I'll try to get that one, Voss. You said in Winter Spring, huh? I will. Is that like a rare? Is it like really rare, or is it pretty easy to get a hold of? He's easy to get. Sweet. Yeah, we'll look at getting him if he's got the same color as my hair. Nice. As long as it gave Northeast Winter Spring. Very cool. I like it. Now we just got to get to 60. we just got to get to 60 on 0.5x experience rate. Oh, parkour fail. Look at all the tombstones out here. A lot of people have died doing this quest. Person's gonna get himself killed. Look, that's a hardcore character. Is she gonna die? Is she gonna die? Oh, there goes the hardcore character. Maybe that wasn't hardcore. I thought it was. It's frustrating. Oh, Karam, you didn't die again, did you? You didn't die again, did you? I hope you didn't. One less. It can be frustrating if you die a lot, yeah. But you gotta just figure out why did you die, like what mistakes did you made, and figure out how to, how to fix. Man, that guy just stole my mob, and figure out how to correct those mistakes. So. No, not double dumb. You not take berries. They're gonna restart the server in 3 hours. What? Why would they restart the server in 3 hours? It's kind of weird. Hey guys, when they restart the server, is it usually pretty quick? Is it usually pretty quick? Is it just like a restart and back up? $15 minutes? Okay. They are goblins in disguise, yeah. I never trust gnomes. Whenever I see a gnome, I just want to kick him and like punt him, like see how far I can punt him. No, you don't take berry. No, the hunter quiver bonus is just a flat bonus. It doesn't stack. The increased attack speed you're seeing is part of a talent that I mean. Finally, the Avengers. Four quivers. Yeah. Oh, what? I dinged level 13. I didn't even know I was close to dinging. I didn't even know I was close to the ding. So right now we're putting all our points in the predator aspects to get the increased attack speed. The attack speed works with ranged attack speed and melee attack speed. It procs, it procs often enough that it is useful. Sometimes it'll even proc. Once it procs though, it's kind of nice because the proc actually has, since you're increasing your attack speed by 30%, let's say you're using like 2 really fast one-hand daggers and you're just meleeing some mob. If you proc 30% attack speed, the chance that you're going to proc again is a lot higher because you're getting in a lot more attacks. So it's kind of cool. It could be interesting, especially if we can get some weapons that are gonna like Thrash Blade or something like that. It'd be amazing if this hunter could get like Thrash Blade or Iron Foe or something like that, where you get like additional effects plus that are proccing the 30% attack speed. It can be pretty impressive actually. Your melee damage could actually skyrocket quite a bit. Engage slow mount. It looks slow, but it's actually faster than me on foot. So. No! Mount failure. That's pretty good. I mean, that would be a good sword, but if I'm gonna go with, if I'm gonna try to go for, if I'm gonna try to go for a lot of attacks, like a lot of increased attacks, and to proc the, this talent here, which right now has a 4% chance to increase my attack speed or range attack speed by 30%. I'm gonna want to do it with dual, obviously with dual wield, blah blah blah. I can't talk with dual wield weapons. That's gonna give me a lot more opportunities to, obviously to proc that percentage. In fact, just because of that ability alone, it's quite possible that dual-wield weapons for a melee-ish hunter on Turtle could be better than two-hand, just because you're gonna proc that ability a lot more often. But I don't know that yet. We gotta crunch some data, man. We gotta crunch some numbers. So hey Vols, I found a couple other like little overlays. You guys want to see them? You guys want to see a undead themed skin for for the game? Notice how this skin overlay is kind of has like a night elf theme. You can see these vines wrapped around these portraits here, and wrapped around see the vines wrapped around my action bar down here. You can also see it if you look at the mini map. Although we have all these stupid buttons, which I hate all this shit. Like, is there a way we can turn some of this stuff off? God. Is there like can we turn off the clock even, maybe? I hate that we can't turn off some of that stuff. We can't even turn off the time on the clock. We'd have to get some sort of a UI out. Anyway, so... yeah, and you can see the windows here, like even this logout window's got like what looks like a root theme. Or a root and like, I found a couple other ones, like we're talking circa 8 years ago. I found an undead one, so I want to show you guys the undead one because it's kind of interesting. So I just have to switch a couple folders out. So give me a second here. All we have to do is go into my Turtle Wild folder here, and you can see I've got the regular one I use. We've also got one called the Undead one, and we've got the Stone Rot. So this is the King. Excuse me, Elf King. That's what those skins are themed. That's what they're called. We're going to go with the Undead, right? And all they are is like skins that kind of replace the overall look of some of the frames, you know what I mean? You can see it already, like they're... I don't know if you noticed it, but that little window had little skulls on the corners. Ooh. Now look, we've got little skulls on the... See the action bar down here? It's got a skull here with some little burnt down candles and a skull here. And the frames are a little different. They have what looks like made out of maybe bone. See how this is almost like looks like bone? And if we open up the bag, I don't know if it really shows up. Yeah, you can definitely see it's different. Like, bags look a little different. The borders, like the mini map. And here, let's see if we can find one. Hold on a second. Here, if you look at the background of my spellbook, you can see skulls. There's actually in the background of the spellbook here, there's some skulls back here. See these? The teeth, some eye sockets. There's actually some skulls in there. It's a very subtle overlay, but pretty cool actually. Pretty cool. I don't think we'll see. Yeah, so that's that one. So that one's, you know, like I said, if I was playing an undead character, maybe I'd use that one. I do think they did a great job with the skulls and the candles down here. You know, take candle. Oh, also, I think the cobwebs too, but in the bag. See the little spider webs right here? I don't think those are in the regular World of Warcraft frames. It's a little spider web here. So that's pretty cool. And I believe these are skulls here, but it's really hard to tell. And I think these things in between are supposed to be skulls, but again, very difficult to see. Well, you have to be a high elf to do that. Right? You have to be a high elf.
Ah, so Reliant sent you to aid me. I'm glad you arrived here so soon. I've discovered something quite disturbing. In a cave along the southern bank of the lake, a timberling named Oakenscowl is spreading corruption to all the creatures that make Lake Alameth their home. I dared not get too close, but even from a distance it is obvious. Oakenscowl is being poisoned by the largest tumor I have ever seen. I would call it gargantuan, even. Adventurer, you have already done much to aid my efforts, but I ask of you one more task. Hunt down Oakenscowl and collect the tumor. Remove this source of corruption from my home. Where did you get this? I haven't seen a plant like this since a sojourn I made to the Swamp of Sorrows decades ago. It's amazing that a specimen made its way to Teldrassil, and it's grown to such a size. Thank you, adventurer. Forgive my shortness of words, but there is a test I would like to perform on this frond. You found this on Teldrassil?
You can see the skulls here on the corners.
This fruit is exotic. Perhaps its seeds were brought here from far off, perhaps even as far as Azeroth. And there's something about this fruit. It seems to have reacted very strangely with the soil of Teldrassil. Thank you, adventurer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must study this further.
Alright, but I'm going to put back the other one because I like it better. Yeah, but I can't use the Dark Ranger skin because you have to be a high elf to use that. It is pretty cool looking skin though. Like if I did like a high elf, like high elf rogue or something, I would definitely be, or a high elf mage or wizard, or like, I don't know if you can be a warlock, but definitely would use that skin. They have other skins though, right? Like they do have some, yeah, they do have some skins for night elves, but they're really they're a little bit out there. I'm not sure if we'd want to use one. Like, if you look at the Night Elf skins, you've got this one, which is the thing that I don't like about the skins is they change your face. You know what I mean? It changes your face, so it's not just like changing your body. Like this one changes the look of your, gives you some like tattoos or some leaves in your skin or something. But if you don't like that face, you're kind of screwed. So you don't have so that's what I don't like about the skins. I mean, they're always going to have this face, this face, this face. You can't pick the face you want and then say, well, give me my face that I want, but give me this cool looking skin, around the body, But some of the skins, like the Dark Elf Rangers, are pretty cool. And this one here is cool. I've actually bought that before. And then you have the Night Elf's Blessing, which is the green kind of. This reminds me of the Sylvari from Guild Wars 2. This one here. It's kind of like the Sylvari from Guild Wars 2. And then you have illusions, but illusions don't work in combat, which sucks. And then, of course, we have tabards, which I purchased. This tabard here, the tabard of the Summer Skies. And that's about it. We have some mounts, but unfortunately, when's the next sale going to be on Turtle WoW? I want to know when the next sale is, Vol, so we can buy ourselves some more mounts. Which graphic add-ons? The ones I was just showing you? I mean, for like these skin overlays? Here, hold on a sec. Just do this. Go, Yeah, like if you want to find these, just go to Reddit, classic WoW, and type in T-King, and you'll find the Undead UI, the Elfwood UI, and the Stone Rot UI. Those are the ones that I was just showing you guys just now. If you're interested in those. The Melee Hunter one, that's Guild Wars 2 UI. Guild Wars 2 UI, just download the WoW add-on Guild Wars 2 UI, and that'll give you most of that overlay. It's raining, but I don't really hear the rain that much for some reason. It's weird. Normally the rain sound would be louder. I guess because it's not hard rain. Not the heavy rain. What was that, boss? What's not for a while? You said. You mean the sales? You said it's not for a while. That's because they got so many people. They're making shit tons of money. The people that work on Turtle WoW must be making a fortune right now. I mean, think about it. The prices they have on their shop are very expensive prices. This 36 slot bag is $30 USD. $30 USD, man. You know. I mean, you've got like currently 6,400 people. Wow. There are 6,400 people on the server right now. Just think if only like 200 of them bought a 36 slot bag, right? that's like $6,000 or something, right? So let's say out of the 6,400 people that are online now, 200 of them say, I want a 36 slot bag. Well, then they're just going to make $6,000 USD. You set them up? Well, I've been playing Turtle for a long time. I've played on the server for... Did I loot the guy? I did. Okay. I can't remember if I looted him. I'm like yakking and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. You got 16 days? I've got a whopping 12 hours. You just flagged yourself PvP, guys. That's weird that they killed that. I hope that horde wasn't like a decoy. I could totally see the horde doing that, right? You bring over like a level 10 guy flagged to get people who aren't flagged to kill it, to flag up, and then like a level 60 pops out, just wipes out all the people that flagged.
How may I help? I knew you were more than capable of ridding the lake of that horrible beast. It is a distressing situation. Oakenscowl was once a grand leader amongst his kind, but corruption does not discriminate between the lowly and the noble. The size of this tumor is quite disturbing, but I must study it to
Your
learn
mother's
more
disturbing.
about the
What?
disease that upsets the timberling population. Thank you, adventurer.
Something my wife would say. You know, I'd be like, man, the size of this tumor is disturbing. My wife would say something totally like, your mom's disturbing. Oh, I could totally hear her saying something like that. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory. Falling on my head. We can't even dual wield yet. Yeah, right? Like, I think hunters can't dual wield until, like, what, like level 20 or something? I can't remember.
Adventurer, you have proven yourself a most worthy and able adventurer. A person who follows the path of honor as sure as you do is certain to find great glory in this world. May the forest spirits protect you wherever your travels may take you.
Oh, look at all these. There's so many people on this. And this server's got a lot of people on it. And remember, the Night Elf area is the least populated area. Like, if we were in the human area right now, it must be insanely crowded. Shit. They must have crazy respawn on here. This is not a hardcore, so... Yeah, no, I knew that I know their YouTube tech was gone. Yeah, they got the DCMA, I know. I think their like Twitter and their YouTube was taken away at some point. So I don't even want to kill these guys. They're not. I'm not even. This quest is like giving me no experience other than the main turn in. So. Or are these guys too low? They're... Ah, never mind. Alright, let's get out of here. This quest is just not worth it. They're 6 levels above me, so... Look at that big damage. Big dick damage. Oh, you gotta love it. Well, maybe we can do like a Dead Mines run. Why are you not? My wing clip wasn't working there for some reason. I don't really know why. Yeah, there it worked. Ooh, nice. When do we get dual wheel? I don't know how to use swords or axes. Great. Alright, we have the trainer for swords and axes. Oh, server population went down a little bit. Oh yeah, it's already after 4 p.m. my time. So the peak population today was probably like 65 or 6,600 maybe.
What brings you here? Goddess, watch over me.
Holy shit, 900 experience. That was a lot. That's good.
Dirge Quickleave of Gadgetson is a master of the culinary arts. To better yourself, you will need to seek him out. If you are here to waste my time, then you are wasting the time of the Cenarian Circle as a whole. For your sake, let us hope that you are not foolish enough to be doing just that. Ah, yes, the water I had requested. Tanneron and Corethris certainly took their time in having it delivered, perhaps not choosing the most reliable of messengers. Nonetheless, I can finally get back to my work then. The weight of Teldrassil's problems fall upon my shoulders, a yoke I would wish to soon be rid of. Take this, you may find some use for it.
Character bound, Hector. But keep in mind, if you're doing a hardcore character, if you die, you get all your credits back. So, like if this character dies, like my 36 slot bags, I'll get all those credits back refunded to my account.
To maintain our link to the mainland, we have hippogriffs constantly flying between Rutheran Village and Darkshore.
I've seen like 4 people hit 60 just today and yesterday. But like I said, leveling to 60 on Turtle Hardcore is way easier than Classic WoW Hardcore because you can group with other players, you can trade with other players, so you can totally get way better gear. Also, there's way more quests on Turtle WoW, so it makes leveling a lot easier. Also, you have tents, which means you can like boost your like leveling speed by like almost double. So it's just so much easier to level Hardcore here. But in a way, it can be more fun because you can group. Not with Slow and Steady, yeah. Not with Slow and Steady Exhaustion. What I'm doing is... Yeah, with Slow and Steady, it's a lot more difficult. But I can still group with people, though. I can still group with other people. Anyways, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Dwarf Supremacy, what? Yeah, the custom quest rewards are really strong. They're actually pretty strong. Now, do I want to level here, or do I want to do? Well, no, we want to go to Stormwind because we got to get our real pet. We got to get the real pet, my wolf man. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, the shovel's really good for two-hand wielding people. Yep. Even for me as a hunter, if I want to do melee damage, you know, the shovel's going to be good. Yeah, but leveling hardcore here is way... I mean, it's significantly easier. Don't fool yourselves. If you guys level a hardcore character here, regular mode, go to Classic WoW Hardcore and do it, and you'll see that there's a big difference. I think one of the biggest differences is just, you know, there's so much fewer quests than regular vanilla. I mean, you get to the part where you're running all over the world just trying to find quests to do, you know? Not here, man. There's so many quests. I like here better as far as like the questing. The questing is a lot better on Turtle WoW because you have so much more. There's just more to do, you know. Yeah, I mentioned the tents. I mentioned the tents earlier. That yeah, that's what I was saying. That your leveling speed's almost twice as fast if you abuse the tents here. So. Notice how I'm gonna be faster than this guy. I'm gonna outrun you, Spirit. Whatever your name is, Spear Toad. I'm winning the race. Look, I'm winning the race. I'm in front. Catching up to Hex Immortal. Oh, we did try to surpass the mortal. I just gotta catch up to Arako. Oh, I'm gonna pass him up. Arachleos. Oh, wait, shortcut. Oh, I take the lead. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, they made a lot of changes to the classes in Turtle WoW to make some of those specs that people considered meme or not very good to make them better. Like Protection Paladin is way better, like way better here. And actually, I've seen people. There's videos on YouTube of people tanking like Blackwing Lair with Protection Paladins in Turtle WoW. Successfully tanking, I might add. Yawn, yawn.
What can I do for you?
If you talk to anyone about wine, then you know we Galenas sell the best wine in Stormwind. And we're not far, still in the trade district along the city's lovely canals. Here, take this pamphlet. Bring it to my sister, Suzetta, at our shop for a complimentary bottle of our famous Pinot Noir. You won't regret it.
Help you find something? Go with honor, friend. Ah, so you've seen Renato? Well, here you are, sir. A bottle of our special Pinot Noir. You'll not find its equal in all of Azeroth.
Have you come seeking training in the ways of armed combat?
Yeah, we can't do dual wield yet. Look at all these people. You're level 6 mage? I can't group with you, man. I'm too high level. You can only group with people within 5 levels. You have to be within 5 levels of another hardcore player to be able to group with them. But I'm not really going to be grouping to help anybody grind. Because when I'm streaming, I pretty much play solo mostly because it's too difficult to like. It's kind of tough to be in a group trying to help people and talk to people while I'm trying to talk to people in the stream. It's just it's tough. I don't like to do it too much. That's why I play solo. And plus, I like to play solo a lot. I'm hard. I don't get along well with others. Let's just put it that way.
What can I do?
I barely get along with myself.
See you around.
Where's the other quest? This one.
What can I do for you? Be careful.
And this one.
What's on your mind? Can I assist you? Till next one.
I can teach you how to cook.
Really?
Need help? Buy and trade.
Greetings, my friend, and welcome to the greatest show on Azeroth. Please, step right up and take in all we have to offer. Amaze at the wonders that the Darkmoon Fair has uncovered in this vast and mysterious world. We have spared no expense in bringing you excitement that children of all ages will delight in.
Oh, I do a lot of hardcore leveling. I haven't done a lot of endgame stuff just because, honestly, I was going to do some endgame stuff in classic hardcore, but they wouldn't let my melee hunter into the hardcore elite guild. So if we get to 60 on this character, and if there isn't another MMO out there that I want to play, like Throne of Liberty or something else, like Pax Dei or something, then yeah, as long as there isn't some other MMO out there that I want to play, because right now, I mean, I've played WoW since it came out, so I've been looking forward to playing a new MMO for a long time. We just haven't had any good new MMOs. So if there's no good new MMOs out there, I would totally do like some endgame content with this character. I would do like endgame raiding and with this particular character. But man, the MMO space is so crazy right now, though. There's a lot of MMOs in development right now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is, because you can trade with other people. You can trade with other hardcore players that are within 5 levels of you, so that's why you see in the guild people saying stuff like looking for group number 33 plus, looking for more Hawks Vigil Elite 28 plus. So you can actually group with people. 28 minus plus means basically looking for a group. You know, this person's level 28. They're looking for people within 5 levels of them, minus or plus, meaning like 17 to 33, or is it 32 or 33? And then you see want to sell. You know, so yeah, you want to be in the guild because you're able to get groups really easily and you're able to trade. So yeah, the big benefit of being in the guild. Yeah, just go to a different tab. Yeah, just create a new tab. Like here, I've got a tab called Shh. If I want to not to see a bunch of junk, I'll just go in here and I'll say, you know what? Let me see my skill and loot here. Let me see my combat message. You know, you can go in and customize it. Just create a new chat window and customize it. Put whatever you want in there. Global messages, right? Like, let's say I want party in here, whisper in here, and say, and, you know, maybe yell as well. Yell. Yeah, just switch tabs, yeah. Oh, no worries, man. This is great. There's a lot of people here. As you can see, there's a ton of people here. The other thing too is don't worry about quests being gray because you still get experience from gray quests. So as long as a quest is like even within like 15 or what is it? Vals, you know, you can still do quests that are like up to like 20 or 30 levels higher than like lower than you, and still I believe get experience. So
I lost my necklace and think that gutter snipe Billy McClure took it. He's usually scuttling like a rat around the McClure vineyards east of here. Get my necklace back for me and you'll warm an old widow's heart. The Brackwells have a prize-winning pig, Princess. The sow is huge, and she got that way from sneaking over here and eating my veggies. So before she comes to our fields, Princess must die. Bring me her collar as proof of the deed, and I'll give you something for your time. The Brackwells have a prize-winning pig, Princess. The sow is huge, and she got that way from sneaking over here and eating my veggies. So before she comes to our fields, Princess must die. Bring me her collar as proof of the deed, and I'll give you something for your time. Princess is usually over at the Brackwell pumpkin patch to the east and beyond the McClure farm. Get her before she gets hungry and comes back here.
Looks like they said there were the pumpkins over here. Are there pumpkins? Let's go back. On Turtle WoW, I've done a few hardcore characters. I have a 40, I have like a 4600 or 40 something, 45, 4600 here who's still alive. But I wanted to start over from level 1 because that other hunter wasn't doing the hardcore challenge. Sorry, she was doing the hardcore challenge, but she wasn't doing the slow and steady challenge. But yeah, I've done a few. I've never done 1 to 60 on Turtle WoW. I've leveled a couple characters to 60 on classic hardcore. A warrior and a hunter and a melee hunter. I've done to 60.
I supply only the finest goods.
Oh, I'm cursed. My heart belongs to Tommy Joe Stonefield, but our families are bitter enemies. So I can't see him, even though my eyes ache to gaze upon that handsome face. Please take this letter and give it to Tommy Joe. He's usually at the river to the west of the Stonefield farm, which is due west of here.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I was just doing slow and steady because I stream, so I just threw it. Some people like when I stream hardcore for a while, they like to also see me do slow and steady. I guess they like they want to see me suffer. So we did slow and steady, exhaustion, and how many players? Currently, there's 6,182. There were about 6,400 a little bit ago. I think there's probably around 66 or 6,700 peak on here today. Population always, it always peaks around, right now it's 4:36 p.m. for me, but my time population on Turtle usually peaks around noon, so like 4 hours ago it would have been probably the peak population. Yeah, it runs with the 1.12 client. And yes, that is a lot of people. It's the most crowded vanilla server there is. Like, private vanilla server. It's the most populated private vanilla server. Yeah, this is an old client. You don't get any older than this client. I'm still thinking about trying to run the 1.14 client for this again, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I mean, I've got it to work before. I'm not sure if I can get my add-ons to work with it. So I don't know. Not sure if it's worth it. Um, it depends on how it depends on how they do them. Depends on how they do them. I might do a dragonflight melee hunter. I love worgen so much. I do have a worgen. I do have a worgen on Whitemane. Whitemane was like, but it was a rogue. I didn't do a hunter. Whitemane's Cataclysm. I don't really know how survival hunter is on Cataclysm, to be honest. I never played. I mean, I did play a hunter on Cataclysm, but it was so long ago. I don't remember my count information. Don't remember. Anyways, but I've been wanting to play like the one problem I have with Turtle WoW. One of the things that bugs me is I do once I've played newer versions of WoW, even though I don't like Retail's graphics that much, I don't like what they've done with the graphics, like the textures and stuff. I do like some of the animations. And playing on Turtle WoW is a little, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks because the animations and the smoothness of the client isn't really that good, you know. But it's not Turtle WoW. That's just how the 1.1. That's just how the 1.1 client, 1.12 client is. You know, it's a little janky. You know what I mean? Like if you play classic WoW, it's so much smoother. The animations and the gameplay feels a lot smoother, and And the client looks a lot better, you know. Like here's Turtle WoW. Whoops. And here's Classic WoW, right? Still not. But it's just smoother. It actually doesn't look that much better, but once you're in there playing it, trust me, I mean, it's a big difference. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would try. I get burned out on WoW all the time. I mean, if you guys have watched my channel for any length of time, you'll see me get burned out. Like, I get burned out all the time in WoW. Because I've played it ever since 2004. And I'm not lying, I'm burned out with this character already. But, you know, I like, you know what I mean? When I get burned out, it's always a question of, is it just because I'm not enjoying the character I'm playing, or is it just because I played too much WoW? Usually it's because I've just played too much WoW, and I just need a break from WoW. You know, it usually doesn't take me long. Like, usually a week off kind of gets me to where I want to play again, you know? Take like a week off or something. But I've been looking for a new MMO for a long time, you know, and there's tons of new MMOs in the works right now. So we are going to have some new MMOs coming down the pipe over the next, like, I'd say the next within the next, like, 2 or even 1 to 4 years, there's going to be a lot of new MMOs coming out. Now, whether or not they're going to be any good, the problem is it's like the always online games are where a lot of game makers are going because they can make so much money. If they can keep their games online all the time, like an MMO, meaning that people can log in at any time, and with microtransactions, you know, the ability to make money for them is huge. I mean, just look at the people running Turtle WoW. I guarantee you, as soon as this server, you know, spiked to 6,000 population over the past few weeks, that the amount of money they're making is a lot more, because people are going to say, oh, I want a mount, or I want bigger bags, you know what I mean? So they're going to donate to the server, you know? I mean, don't kid yourselves. Most of the people, I would say 99% of the people that run private servers are doing it because they want to make money, not because they want to put out a game that's awesome. I mean, they want to do that too, but it's mostly because, hey, they want to make money, you know? Why not make money doing something that's really cool and fun, like making, you know, a game? So. I mean, I haven't procced the attack speed much at all lately. You guys notice that? Like, the attack speed? Like, when I first saw this talent, I thought it was terrible. I was like, I don't want to put 5 talent points into anything that's only going to give me 5%. But then I ran a dungeon with another hunter who had the talent, and I didn't. And he had about the same gear as me, and he was way out DPSing me. And I'm like, how is he way out DPSing me when we have basically the same gear? And I saw him proccing the attack speed from these talents. And that's the only thing I could think of, is that his Predator, you know, that those talents were making the big difference, you know, because he's getting that 30% attack speed. But, like, I have not seen that thing proc in a while. It wasn't good for years. You have to give them a lot of credit. You have to give Turtle WoW a lot of credit for keeping the server up. Most private servers would never have lasted, right? If you look here, I'll show you, because I played Turtle WoW, like 3-4 years ago. When I first, and there was no population. Like, if you go here, I mean, Turtle WoW came out in 2018, right? 6/10/2018. From 6/10/2018 until about, here, 4/4/2021, the population's like, 100 to 400 people, or 100 to 350 people. That's like, I don't consider a population on a server worth playing unless there's at least 1,000 people, and I would prefer there to be at least 2,000. You have to go all the way to, to January of 2022 before Turtle WoW hit 1,000 people. But I played Turtle WoW back in 2019 somewhere, and then I left, and it was really, oh my god, it was so buggy. There was a lot of bugs. And then I left, and then I came back, played it again about a year later. I came back, played about a year later. It was still dead. It wasn't quite as buggy. It wasn't until I came back around this time, around 2022, like late 2022 here, where the population was starting to shoot up. So I played right around here, where it was around 1,800, and it shot up to around 3,400. I was playing around this time, and the game was a lot better. They had fixed a lot of the bugs. The client was running a little better, but they'd added a ton of content. Like, there was a lot of cool new content, and I played it here, and it was really fun. And then, of course, this is right when Wrath of the Lich King Classic pre-patch came out, and something else came out. I don't know. There was like Season of Mastery or something. There were a couple things that came out here that really, killed the population. Oh, it was Dragonflight. So Dragonflight came out, and Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch came out. Classic, Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So yeah, Wrath of the Lich King Classic and Dragonflight came out, and then that just killed the server. Everybody went to play Wrath of the Lich King Classic and Dragonflight. And then, and I said at the time, I said eventually this population will go back up, because people are going to get bored of Dragonflight, because Dragonflight's, it's just another WoW expansion that we knew wasn't really going to be that great. I mean, yeah, it's okay, but it's nothing new. There's too many systems that are similar to the old systems. They've screwed the game up so much. It's so much different than the original game that the people that really love like vanilla WoW are never going to love anything that Blizzard really puts out for retail. And also the biggest thing, and I think the biggest thing that people overlook, that you don't hear people talk about a lot, at least you didn't for the longest time, is that in retail WoW, it's the gold sellers, it's the bots, it's the GDKP runs, the people boosting. It was so bad. It was so bad in like Shadowlands. Like, people were paying people money so they didn't have to play their characters. If you played Burning Crusade Classic, and I played it on Grobulus, people would go and pay people, would give people gold, and go into like stockades and have people run in there with high level characters and just clear stockades in like 10 minutes. And you would just sit there at the entrance and get an experience. You wouldn't even do anything. People were paying people gold to do that. It's called boosting. And I'm like, this is pathetic. I go, this is asinine. This is stupid. I'm like, think about what you're doing. You're paying people money so that you don't have to play a game. There's something wrong with the game if you don't want to play it and you'd rather pay somebody. You know what I mean? Like, there's fucking something fundamentally wrong here. And so that's when I realized how bad it had gotten. And that's when you saw Bellular Gaming. I haven't looked at Bellular Gaming in a long time. And that's when you saw Bellular Gaming, even Asmongold and some other people talking about boosting. And that's why retail sucks. Because even the people that play it aren't the people that are like me, that are willing to fucking tough it out and play the game, and enjoy the content. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I mean, BFA was, and it kind of sucks. I mean, I actually liked, like I said, BFA Survival Hunter was super fun. And I liked BFA as an expansion way better than Shadowlands. Shadowlands is like the worst expansion. It's like the worst. Oh yeah, see, yeah, and I knew that that was going on. I didn't know how much money people were spending, Hector, but I knew people were spending a lot of money. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay money. Like, why? I mean, you already pay like $30 a month for the sub, right? Well, I'm not gonna pay more than that. Yeah. Yeah, and to me, the people that do that, Hector, I mean, I don't want to say they're idiots, but I would like to say that there's something wrong with the genre. Like, there's something wrong with the genre, like MMOs. Like, there's something wrong with the game. If the game makes players play in that way, I mean, you partially blame the players because, unfortunately, the people that play MMOs today aren't the people that played MMOs like me back, because I'm old. I'm 53 years old, man. I've been playing games fucking since Pong, man. I was playing Pong, right? I still have a Pong, I think, in my mom's house. I've been playing games since, video games on the computer since, like 1983, or 1984 maybe. But we weren't looking for ways to circumvent. We weren't looking for ways to make games easier. We weren't looking for like the shortcut. We just played games because it was fun. You wanted to play the game and be good. You wanted to learn how to be good. You didn't want to pay money to someone just so like the whole point of like paying all that cash just so you can, I don't know. It's just.
This is bad news. What's next, Dragons? We'll have to increase our patrols near that mine. Thanks for your efforts, adventurer. And hold a moment. I might have another task for you. Thanks to you, we know the Fargo Deep Mine is infested with kobolds. Now we need a scout to investigate the more distant Jasper Lode mine. Explore Jasper Lode and confirm any kobold presence. To reach the mine, travel east along the road until you reach the Tower of Azora. From the tower, head north and you'll find the mine in the foothills.
Thanks for the dust, adventurer. Here's your cash, and here is a token from associates of mine. You might find it useful. Useful?
Yeah.
You were busy hunting kobolds, were you? Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, it's just people, like, the games need to be, like, MMOs need to be created in a way that it's challenging, and there shouldn't be, see, I'm not a big fan of, I think raids are fun, but I'm not really a huge fan of raids, and I'm not a huge fan of gear progression, because gear progression sets up the game to fail in that way where, Hector, you're talking about people trying to parse at phase 5 on, whatever, you know what I mean? It sets up this gear treadmill where everybody rates everybody and says, well, you're only as good as your gear score. And to me, it should be more about, I always go back to Dungeons and Dragons, right? Because I played Dungeons and Dragons and I loved Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. I've been wanting to play it now. I just don't have anybody to play with. But there is actually a gaming store not too far from here that does Dungeons and Dragons. But I always go back to Dungeons and Dragons. What was fun about Dungeons and Dragons is you got together with your friends, right? So you got together with your friends, and you sat down at a desk. You ordered pizza. You drank some Jolt Cola, right, to keep you going. And maybe you had we used to have a big bowl of M&Ms. I'd get one of those big ass pound bags of M&Ms. We'd order pizza, and I'd have a bunch of Jolt Cola, and we'd sit there getting high on caffeine and sugar, and we'd play D&D. But the fun part was like playing with your friends, but it was using your imagination. It was sitting down and spinning these imaginative tales with the game master and trying to accomplish and overtake challenges as a group, and trying to figure out ways to do that. And the cool thing about D&D is there's the rules, of course, in Dungeons & Dragons, but there's also the unwritten rules. And there's a lot of stuff you can do as long as the game master's smart enough to let you either get away with it if it's valid or not. You know what I mean? There's a lot of gray areas there where you can come up with stuff and say, well, I want to climb this tapestry and jump off on top of this. You know what I mean? There's something weird, but in an MMO, when you run into issues, you really need to. Of course, Dungeons & Dragons has progression too, right? You have level and all that, so it does have the same type of thing. But you don't think so much about gear. I mean, gear is cool and gear is great, but your level is actually more important than your gear. Like your skills, like as you level up, you get better with a sword, or you get better at avoiding damage or avoiding getting hit. And I think when you look at a game like something like Skyrim, where basically you get better with weapons as you use them, that's actually kind of a cool system too. And I think a lot of MMOs are going down the road of not having classes so much, like New World, where you basically, it's more like if you equip a sword and shield, you can be a tank. If that same character equips a staff that's magical, they can cast healing spells, guess what? Now he can be a healer. And I think trying to create the MMOs in a way that basically being skilled with your abilities is more important than having overpowered gear. It's like, I don't think, like, the gear, like, shouldn't be so disparate. There shouldn't be, like, I've got this one staff, but your staff's 10,000 times stronger than mine. You know what I mean? The gear should be maybe a little bit stronger, and also magic should be incredibly rare. Like, if you look at, like, if you think of, like, Dungeons & Dragons, if you have a good dungeon master, magic's going to be incredibly rare. It should be a very, very, very rare thing in the world. Like, you shouldn't just be killing mobs and getting greens and blues all over the place, right? Like, if magic was incredibly rare and you hardly ever found magic in an MMO, that way when you actually did find a magic, it would be this massively awesome thing. Like, when I played Lineage 2, I could go out and kill mobs for fucking 8 hours and might see one drop. Like, one item drop in, like, 8 hours that was, like, maybe a magical item. And it was always cool. You're like, oh, man, something dropped, you know? But it was really rare that gear dropped. And usually when it dropped, it was white gear or gray gear. Like, for gear to drop that was actually of some kind of really powerful value was incredibly rare. And most MMOs aren't like that, and I really disagree with that. You know, I don't think, you know, and I also think that you should, like, the journey from, like, maybe being a weak character to being a fairly strong character in MMO should encompass mostly regular gear. Like, just, like, you know, a silver sword over a, you know, a rusty sword over an iron sword over a well-made sword. You know, make the gear good, not because it has magical properties, but maybe make it good because it's less likely to break, or maybe make it good because it looks better, or maybe make it good because the durability is high, you know, or where it doesn't lose durability as fast. I think all MMOs should have durability loss, and I think all gear should break eventually. You know, I don't care how good your gear, unless it's like some sort of super, I mean, magical gear that's of a certain magical level, like really high level, shouldn't break because it has magical properties to it that protects it. So that's that, right? Like, if I have a, you know, level 50 blue sword, I don't really think that should break. But anything that's like green or lesser value, I think should have a durability on it, and I think it should break. And that really helps the, you know, the economy. It helps the crafting system. You know, I think when people die, there should be like a negative impact. Like, if you die, you should lose some experience. If you die, maybe you lose some of your items. Maybe your items get broken or destroyed. Maybe someone impaled you through your beautiful, you know, green chest piece and ruined it. You know what I mean? Just, I would love to see more stuff like that put into MMOs. You know, put stuff in the game so that characters don't always stay super strong. Maybe they're strong for a certain while, and if something happens to them that weakens them, I don't know. You got to think of different ways to do it. But just the plain old gear treadmill is I think it's an outdated concept, and I don't really care for it. TED Talk over. Do they sell Dwarven Mild here? I think they do. But I don't think we're going to see an MMO in the style of what I would like to see, probably before my death. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll ever see it. Unless I make it myself. And actually, how much Mild do I need? 3? And actually, when I retire, one of the things I want to do is work on making my own, you know, video game slice or like prototype of a game that is more grounded in those types of systems, where it's not about like getting super magical power for, you know, gear and whatnot. But the fun of an MMO should be about the adventure. It should be about exploring a fantastical world where you don't know what's around the corner. And zones shouldn't be set up like this. It shouldn't be like, oh, I know this zone. For example, I know this zone's level 1 to 10. It shouldn't be like that. I've always been against that as well. Like, here, this zone's level 53 to 60. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm in Eastern Plaguelands, every mob there is level 53 to 60. Also, I don't like having levels. Get rid of levels entirely, right? We don't need levels anymore in MMOs. Like, a mob should be like if you're going into a zone, Maybe you run into some kobolds. Well, you know that kobolds are probably not that powerful, right? And then, but what if you're having to go around a corner and there's a cave and you go into the cave and there's like a troll in the cave? Well, most likely that troll is going to be probably more powerful than those goblins. He's not going to fit within a level range, right? Like it's not like, because remember the goblins, if you think about, or the kobolds or goblins or whatever, if you think about like Dungeons and Dragons type levels, maybe a kobold's level 5, maybe a troll's like level 15, right? Or it could be even higher. You could put a dragon, like you could have in this zone in Eastern Plaguelands, you could have a dragon that's max level. You could have a kobold, and you could have a troll. You could have a bunch of bandits. In the MMO that I would envision, zones would be all over the place. Like you would have all different varying types of mobs that of all different varying types of strength. You know, so you would never know what's out there. So just walking into the forest and running into a cave is a risky adventure because you're like, well, this zone I know is level 5 to 10, so if I go into this cave, it's going to be a level 5. No, you don't know. It's not like that. This zone is I don't know what it is. That's what it is. This zone is I've never been here before. I got to be careful because around any corner could be a fucking red dragon, okay? Who's going to kill my ass. I also think that it'd be really cool that all MMOs have hardcore servers where you only have one life. I think that should be an option for all MMOs going forward. And I think that the cool thing about hardcore is it also keeps low levels relevant. Like whenever you're on a server that has hardcore and you're in a low level area, you see lots of people. You see tons of people. You know why? Because they keep dying. You know, they keep creating new characters, so it keeps the world full of people at every level. Because you always have people that come in and they're dying. They have to start over, or maybe they made it all the way to 60 without dying. They're like, oh, now I want to create a new character and try it on a different character. And yeah, so I don't think we need levels in MMOs. I don't think we need we shouldn't have a mini map. We shouldn't even have a map. Like there should be no maps in MMOs. Like a map would be you go to a city and you go to a map maker and you buy a map and then you open that up out of your inventory and you look at it. And then the map that you bought might not be that good. Maybe that map maker wasn't even that good. So the map might not have very good details, or maybe the map has something on it that's no longer even there because it's out of date. You know, those types of things. So there should be no map. Like, out of the box, there should be no map. Not unless it's like, I created my character and I started in Stormwind. You might have a map of Stormwind because you grew up there. It's like, well, my character's level, you know, he's a level 25-year-old fighter, level 1. Well, he grew up his whole life in Stormwind. So, of course, he would know his way around Stormwind because that's where he grew up. So then, yeah, there might be a map for that, right? But I have thousands of ideas for MMOs. Thousands. Well, not thousands, but I probably have hundreds. I mean, over the years, I've come up with lots of things that I would like to see, lots of things I don't want to see. I don't even remember all the things. That's why I try to write them down a lot of times, because I constantly am coming up with, like, well, I'd like to see this, I'd like to see that, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? And it's impossibly difficult to create an MMO that's gonna make everybody happy. That's why MMOs really should be more like niche, you know? Like, there should be MMOs that are more focused for PvP players. There should be MMOs that are more focused for PvE players. There should be MMOs for people that like heavy sandbox. And there should be MMOs for people that like theme park. And there should be MMOs for people that like survival, you know, survival traits. You know, the problem with a lot of MMOs, the reason they don't stay relevant is because they try to do everything with one MMO. And it just doesn't really work that well. I mean, the only reason, like, these servers, these private servers for WoW do really, like this one here, is popular because it's got really cool content. And plus, WoW is a kind of a genre-breaking game. I mean, everybody knows World of Warcraft. So WoW is kind of an exception to the rule. But if I just went out there and created an MMO and gave it basic systems that, like, WoW, like if I created an MMO that wasn't called World of Warcraft that basically had everything that this has, nobody would play it. It might be almost identical to Turtle WoW, but nobody would really play it. If it wasn't like a WoW game, but it was very similar type, no one would play it because, like, well, we've never heard of that, but I know World of Warcraft, so I'm going to play World of Warcraft. So WoW has, you know, the IP that people know. It's recognizable. So you need to build a game that has its own unique identity so that people that are looking for that type of thing, when they look at it, they say, I want to play that. That's why Pax Dei, like, if you look at Pax Dei, if you guys are spending time looking at Pax Dei, it's going to attract so many people because it has certain systems that are so easily recognizable. You're going to be like, oh, this has got really cool crafting. This has a really expansive world that I can explore. You know, it doesn't necessarily have like this gear treadmill. You know, it's going to be, that game's going to attract, and I'm one of those people, it's going to attract a lot of people because of it's different. It's not going to be like World of Warcraft, you know.
See you around.
Good day to you.
Well, no, World of Warcraft has a map. Yeah, I mean, you're right. In the original version of the game, like, it wouldn't be exposed. Like, this would not be exposed.
You were busy hunting kobolds, were you? Thanks for the candles, adventurer, and here's your reward.
But even if it was hidden, you still are seeing a map. You're still seeing, like, the geography layout. And so you wouldn't have that. And also, you have the mini-map, which, again, you shouldn't have. Get rid of quest helpers. There should be no quest helpers ever. You should never have a quest helper in an MMO, ever. I totally am against quest helpers. The only reason I use a quest helper is because everybody uses them now. So if I don't use them, it's like I fall behind everybody. I mean, I could do it without a quest helper. I don't really need a quest helper. But for these types of leveling series where you're doing, like, you know, slow and steady, where it's going to be really slow, it's kind of like hamstringing myself for no real good reason, right? There's no good reason for me not to use a quest helper for a game that I've already solved. You know what I mean? If this was a new game that I've never ever played before, I'm not going to go out and install a quest helper. You know what I mean? I wouldn't install one because it's a new game. I want to play the game as it was meant to be played. So, yeah. Oh, you don't use a quest helper? No, good. Yeah, I applaud people who don't use a quest helper.
You were busy hunting kobolds, were you? Thanks for the candles, adventurer, and here's your reward. My brother Morgan is waiting in Stormwind for my shipment of candles. I don't have enough time to make the trip myself, but if you'd like to take him the shipment, he'll pay you well. I've packed up the candles, and you can find Morgan in our shop, Pessel's Apothecary, in the Stormwind Trade District.
If you guys have you guys seen Pax Dei? If you haven't seen Pax Dei, you really should check it out. It looks like it could be pretty interesting. This is captured in engine. Of course, they're using Unreal Engine 5.
This is where we belong.
So this is what the game looks like in the game. Okay, I can't help it. I love good graphics. You know, I'm not someone who wants to play RuneScape. I have a hard time playing 1.12 WoW because the graphics are they're just not what I like. You know what I mean?
Exploring this vast and wondrous world. Its treasures call out to be discovered. Its ancient secrets beckon us ever deeper into the unknown. The further we journey from the safety of the light, the greater the rewards and the dangers. This world, it is for us. Here, together, we can build ourselves a home.
Now, Pax Dei is a sandbox, a social sandbox MMO. I've already signed up for the alpha. I've already signed up for the content creator program. I've signed up for everything for this thing, right? Actually, I need to go to the Discord and make my presence felt today at some point. But like, here's another one. Like, this is a video they put out just like yesterday, or the day before yesterday. This is showing like Pax Dei is kind of like, if you guys have ever played, what's that game where oh, I'm not gonna be able to remember the name of it. Shit. Anyway, it's like a Viking style kind of builder like RPG. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna be able to build buildings, but it's a fully fledged MMO. You're gonna have crafting systems, and there's gonna be group play, and I mean you can see here's kind of like now they're already in like alpha, so this is they've already like done some alpha. They're gonna be having an alpha probably within a couple months, like maybe 2 or 3 months. We should get some information about them doing like a closed alpha. This is what the game looks like at nighttime. So this is just a character walking through buildings. Now keep in mind these buildings, a lot of these buildings are built by the players. Like the crafting, you actually construct the buildings, which I love. I love building in games. I'm a big fan of building. I've always been a big fan of building. So you'll create your own crafting stations. You'll be creating your own gear.
It's the game that many of us have been practicing throughout our professional careers to make.
And that's why everyone on the team is building this game, because this is the game that we've been wanting to play for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this project for 20 years almost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We feel we're creating a common dream here, which is bigger than our own. Pax Dei is very much what you want it to be. It's a world. It's a place which is real, feels real.
I like that Pax Dei has bow aiming combat, kind of like New World. I'm a huge fan of the bow. Like I love hunters in all MMOs. I've always loved hunters. I'm a big fan of hunters. I'm a big fan of archery. Even though I did the melee hunter, which is super fun. But I love bow combat. I just think if it's done really well, especially like if you guys played, I'm sure you guys have played Skyrim. Like the bow in Skyrim is really fun. So I love the bow in New World. The New World implementation of the bow is actually really good. And so Pax Dei does have a bow with aiming, which I'm really looking forward to that. So that's one of the things about Pax Dei I'm happy about, to see that they're doing a bow. Now Ashes of Creation, right? They're also doing a bow, which kind of sort of has some aiming, but I think it's kind of lock on too. So it's not quite as good. So we'll see. Oh, my wife's home. Anyways, my wife just came home. So anyway, but yeah, if you look at
It's always there, but most importantly, you're there with other people. And that's really what the sandbox is all about. It is about maximizing human interaction in a meaningful way. And we feel, this is the holy grail in MMO design.
So the name of the game, Pax Dei, like we're calling it the Divine Peace, and it's based on around the idea the way we're constructing the world is, as a new player, you start in what we're calling the Heartlands. So these are safe valleys in which you're allowed to build with your friends.
So this is all right. Hey guys.
The community.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
Crafting.
My wife just got home and she was at the doctor, so I want to talk to her and see how her doctor visit went. So I'm gonna stop the stream here, guys. And but yeah, check out Pax Dei if you haven't. Another one hit in 60. If you haven't looked at it, it's actually looks really cool. But I'll talk to you guys later. I got some stuff I gotta take care of. And have a good one, man. Have a good Saturday, everybody.